Hi, and welcome to this training. This is for searches and meant for the Reentry and Rehabilitation Division. But if you're not with them, you're still welcome to listen along and see what we got. So we're going to talk about a few trainings. The first ones we see here on this screen are the frisk search and the strip search. We're going to go into these in more detail, but the definitions are there. But that's just for your gee whiz. The third kind of search that we're going to talk about is body cavity searches, everybody's favorite, because these are done by medical staff only. So if an officer has reasonable suspicion that an offender has contraband concealed in the body cavity and will not be voluntarily producing it, the officer shall inform the immediate supervisor. Most often an x-ray will be ordered, or the offender can be put through a body scanner if one's available. All right, let's take a little deep dive on the frisk searches. We're going to start with, well, when do we complete these frisk searches? Frisk searches, it's a fun word to say. You should probably try it. So the first one is frisk searches shall be conducted for housing in a more restrictive custody, like we're taking them to jail, we're going to take them back to prison, or we're going to put them in one of our secure cells. We're going to do the frisk search then. Another option is when an offender is suspected of carrying contraband and a staff member of the same sex is not available to conduct that strip search. Third case is an emergency situation when time does not permit for a strip search, right? All sorts of situations, but there's going to be some more. Number 4 on that list is when suspected contraband is of sufficient size that a frisk search would likely reveal said contraband. Like maybe carrying a bazooka or a Uzi or even possibly a watermelon. You're going to find that in a frisk search, I hope. As part of a routine or random search. Or 6, when an offender returns from work, school, religious services, or any other activity outside the resident housing area if there is a staff member of the same gender. All right, now let's go into the how we are going to conduct these frisk searches. 1, the offender remains dressed. The body is searched by passing hands over the clothing. The search should be conducted by a staff member of the same sex. A cross-gender frisk search may only be permitted in exigent circumstances, like the center is in a state of emergency or a riot or hostage situation. You can let your imagination run wild for that one. Or a situation exists that is if left unchecked, it would seriously impact the security or control of the center. Number 3 on this list states when exigent circumstances exist and a cross-gender search must occur, there must be a witness present, preferably another staff member or peace officer. You need to use video recording equipment if it's available and appropriate, and no direct touching of the breasts, male searching a female, genitals, or anus. Part 4, staff must then document the circumstances justifying the cross-gender search, the details of the manner in which it was conducted, who witnessed it, and what, if anything, was found. That wraps it up for our frisk searches. We're going to now move on to strip searches. Now, let's talk about when we are going to do a strip search. Number 1, strip searches may be conducted for housing into a more restrictive custody, jail, prison, secure cell, like it was for the frisk search, but this is a more evasive search. 2, a part of the routine or random search, so similar to the frisk search as well. 3, this one's different, to detect identifying marks such as tattoos, marks, scars, needle marks, knuckle torso checks, right? That's a little more of an in-depth search there. And number 4, when deemed appropriate by staff. So number 5 on when to conduct strip searches, they may be conducted upon admission to a community correctional center. When there's reasonable suspicion that an offender is in possession of contraband that may not be discoverable by that simple frisk search, so they're hiding it in a really good spot. Number 7, there upon confinement into a secure cell. And the last, when other circumstances occur that, if left unchecked, would substantially impact the security or control of the center. So hopefully you have a better understanding of when you're going to conduct these strip searches. So we've talked about the when. Now we're going to talk about the how. How are we going to conduct these strip searches? First thing, the search shall include two components. First component, the visual search of the offender's body. The second component is the search of the offender's clothing. Searches shall be conducted by same gender staff only, witnessed by another staff member of the same gender when possible, and conducted in private to avoid embarrassment or indignity to the offender. So most of you have places already designated in your centers where this usually happens. If there's any concern, please talk to your chain of command. So number 3 is the offender shall be directed by a member of the same sex to remove all articles of clothing, jewelry, anything else that they might be wearing. And you want to do it layer by layer. If there's a coat, the coat comes off first. That way you can search the coat, and so on and so forth until the strip search is complete there. Staff shall visually scan the offender's body, including inside the mouth and the ears. Number 5, offenders with long hair shall run their fingers through their hair to demonstrate that nothing is being hidden near the scalp. You'd be surprised what they keep up there. Number 6 on the list, examination of difficult places to see shall be conducted by instructing the offender to make that portion of the body visible. For example, lift one foot so the bottom of the foot can be seen, and then the other, maybe a fat roll. We've seen sandwiches, cheese, and other things hidden between fat rolls, so you got to look there too. 7, physical contact between staff members and the offender shall be avoided during the search. So just a word warning for some of you that are listening in and not necessarily reading the slides. Just be cautious, we're going to use some fun words. 1, body cavity searches. Probing of any orifices is prohibited except when conducted by a medical doctor. Now, if by some reason you happen to be a medical doctor, but serving in the role as correctional officer at a community correctional center, this does not exempt you from probing of any orifices, so don't do it. 2, when a body cavity search is needed or required, residents shall be taken to the Utah State Correctional Facility, we like to call that USCF, or a medical center authorized by center leadership. All right, we're done talking about the body. Now let's go into searching of offenders' property, rooms and dorms, and even the building. Searches shall be conducted often and or as deemed appropriate by center leadership. Searches may be conducted at random based on information or belief a dangerous or threatening circumstance exists, or for any other legitimate correctional interests. Whenever possible, searches should be planned with objectives and individual assignments. All this should be communicated and understood by all staff involved. All preparations should be determined prior to the search. For example, turning off water, escorting offenders to the main common area, having a plan of what if something goes awry. Not all searches need to be formal or a planned effort, but random searches of a limited nature serve such a valuable function in meeting our center security. So whenever possible, searches should be conducted with a minimum of 2 staff members. However, when situations require immediate action, it may be necessary for 1 staff member to conduct that search. When searches are conducted and property confiscated, the description and quantity shall be documented on a property form. We'll go over that in a little bit. So when you have finished that search, you want to record the date, the time, the description, and the location of any contraband found, damages or problems noted, and any other relevant information. Searches of day rooms, showers, and other areas accessed by offenders should be searched periodically. Laundry rooms, libraries, like you'll be surprised what they will hide in books. And you can do this, you can kind of precursorily do this if you're noticing on the cameras that offenders keep going to a certain area in the bookshelf or whatnot. Start searching those, right? Be creative. They're being creative, so why not you? Searches shall be documented in OTRAC, and don't forget to put it on that daily log. Now let's focus more on the dorms or the rooms, depending on your center. So first, you're going to search and escort all offenders out of the area being searched, whether it's a dorm room or a room of 2. You're going to search those individuals. Don't let them take anything without searching it. If they want a coat because it's cold outside, make sure we search that first. Before beginning, observe the general layout and contents of the area. Just look to see if anything's out of the ordinary, because if it feels out of the ordinary, it is probably out of the ordinary. Thoroughly and methodically search all clothing and belongings, including books, which may contain smaller, flat types of contraband. It's a good place to hide drugs and other stuff. Number 4, examine all bedding, including the mattress. Check for tears or any other wears that might happen. Split the seams, or any split seams or cuts that could be concealed contraband. They'll stuff and try to hide things in small little cracks and try to make them look natural. All mail is subject to search. However, legal mail should not be read. You can leaf through it to see if there's pictures or anything else that they like to hide it in there because they feel like legal paperwork is protected, which it is, but we're just not read it, but we can leaf through it. 6, while searching the physical structure of the room, ensure to check windows, ventilation grills, light fixtures, toilets inside and out, sinks, false ceilings, shelves, and other ledges. Once again, be creative, because if they want to hide it, they want to do their best to make it look as natural as possible. So be creative. Number 7 on the list, this search should also include checking and documentation of any damage or vandalism. If we want to hold them responsible, we need to look for this stuff, not just in our daily walkthroughs, but as we're doing these room searches. 8, the room should be left in as near as possible to the original condition. This is to avoid unneeded resentment and moral problems that can happen if, you toss somebody's stuff just to toss it. So be respectful. Now remember, these searches may reveal evidence of a crime, a need for changes in sanitation, maintenance, security, or other procedures, and should be handled accordingly. Any property confiscated as evidence should be logged as such, according to AHO2, or search for the evidence training for more information. Violation of statutes, ordinances, and/or department policy and rules may result in disciplinary action, CD 12, or criminal charges being filed. Lots of things to remember. Now, I've told you how and when to do various searches around your center or area of assignment, but I'm not going to show you on this training. That'll be the responsibility of your sergeant or your mentor to now show you how to do these searches and how to document them in the proper locations. Any questions that you have, please reach out to your chain of command and they'll help answer those questions. And as always, thanks for tuning in. Until next time.